The Kayfabe Crunch is kept ethical with thanks to Chill Boney Grape, a milk alternative for those of you who actively love cows but hate grapes. With just 50 more calories than the average glass of cow leakage, Chill Boney Grape will plump you up while leaving your conscience light and fluffy. Become a grapist today with Chill Boney Grape.
The Kayfabe Crunch. News forever.
Good news. This is your Kayfabe Crunch for Saturday, May 23rd, 2020. I'm Henry Half-Nelson. Coming up, we have all the latest from NXT, Dynamite and SmackDown. And wrestling journalist Chris Litmus reveals just what constitutes a Stadium Stampede match. But first, on this day in grappling history, in 1999, Owen Hart tragically fell to his death during the Over the Edge event. This incident forced the way the world looks at wrestling to change forever, and forced Vince McMahon to change his perspective on falls from great heights for 3 whole weeks. And 14 years ago today, famous bully JBL retired before he returned to the ring just 18 months later. Then he retired again before singeing our ears at the commentary table for around 5 years. I think I speak for everyone who has been belittled by rubber-faced millionaires when I say, I wish your first retirement had stuck, but please don't hit me. And now let's get... What is that? What the hell is that? Is that a cucumber? What have I said about leaving cucumbers in the studio? I hate these things. Oh, they're disgusting. JD, can you have a word with the cleaning staff about this? Thanks. Such slimy cylinders. Disgusting alien dicks. If I see one cut up, that's even worse. So this... And now, let's get to the poker preview news. Top story, a friendship fractured. Charlotte Flair has spent the last few weeks describing herself as the busiest wrestler in the sport today. Now, some fans have been taking issue with this statement, especially given the current global landscape. But she's not wrong. You are. That's right, the news is telling you you're blatantly wrong. Privately owned broadcasting for the win. Last night on SmackDown, we saw a champion versus champion match between Flair and Bayley. A match that, controversially, Sasha Banks was asked to remain backstage for. Not by management, not by the officials, not even by public health experts, although that really should be happening more. No, she was left behind by Bayley. During the match, Bayley actually called out for Banks, much like a scorned lover, but the boss remained backstage, watching her TV from an extremely uncomfortable angle. Seriously, if Sasha ever has neck issues, this is why. Bayley managed to defeat the Queen on home turf by grabbing the ropes, her tights, and anything she could get her hands on, really. Backstage, Banks and Bayley celebrated until Bayley questioned her friend's faith in her. It appears as though after 2.5 years, yes, it's been that long, of rebuilding their friendship, Charlotte may have gotten under the skin of the former tag champs. Although this doesn't explain why Bayley has started to gaslight Sasha. Charlotte didn't encourage this behavior, so we can assume she has nothing to do with this, meaning Bayley has had this in her all along. Oh God, and WWE made her a role model to our children for half a decade. Is this why my kids go to hug me only to say, "Psych weekend, Dad," and kick me in the shins? Did they learn that from Bayley? Yes. That must be it. And now it's time for your Fast Count, the Karrion Kross match of news.
Jake the Snake Roberts and Arn Anderson face off in the ring. And that's your news from 1985, a year we all massively prefer to 2020.
Drake Maverick forces a tie in the Cruiserweight Championship tournament. If Maverick wins, he gets to keep his job, but if he loses, he'll be fired, which would be a shame. But hey, at least WWE gave this opportunity to every one of the released superstars.
Miz reveals a former Universal Champion had some difficulty deciding his favorite fetish.
Bray Wyatt had a choice, Braun Strowman or stuffed animals. He chose stuffed animals.
First day sales for the Mandy-Kin Rose doll are strong, particularly among single males aged 30 to 45. And we'd like to thank for that data. Thanks,
Sonya Deville resents entering to Mandy's music every night, so enters to Dolph Ziggler's instead. You show 'em, Sonya.
Mike Tyson will present the Dynamite Championship tonight at Double or Nothing. The belt is expected to be made from solid iron, and the first wrestling belt to be recognized by the WBC, IBF, and WBA, some sketchy sources claim.
Beth Phoenix levels some serious allegations on NXT.
Both of these women are battered.
AJ Styles and Jeff Hardy advance in the Intercontinental Championship tournament. But it doesn't matter because Sami Zayn is champion. This whole tournament is a sham. We said it last week, but we refuse to report fake news. Not my Intercontinental Championship tournament. And that's your fast count.
You've been counted out. We're in for a long summer.
Tonight at Double or Nothing, the Elite will face the Inner Circle in a Stadium Stampede match. But what in the purple Hades is that? We asked average wrestling journalist Chris Litmus to find out. Chris?
Stadiums. Remember those? They were giant coliseums we all used to file into to view sporting events. That was until 2020 came to the same conclusion as my partner and decided we need to spend more time apart. Tonight, 10 of wrestling's most elite stars will return to one of these mythical venues to battle in a 5-on-5 brawl to determine faction-based dominance over AEW. But what constitutes a Stadium Stampede match? Well, I've just reminded you what a stadium is, so check that one off the list. But what about a stampede? Usually it's a sudden, panicked rush of horses, cattle, or other herded animals that scare easily. So you could have a stampede of wildebeest, but you're unlikely to have a stampede of geese. Those downy pricks are downright unshakable. Now let's look at the most dangerous animal. Man. Can he be scared quite so easily? Well, yes. For example, when faced with a spider in a bathtub, or ideas that challenge his preconceived worldview. All 10 competitors in the Stadium Stampede match are men, and we've established they can be frightened into stampede-like behaviour. However, does 10 pairs of human hooves a stampede make? I asked anthropologist Dr. Mallory Splashback for some insight on the matter. Dr. Splashback, in your expert opinion, how many people do you think it would take to create a stampede?
Well, I'd have to say it probably depends on the location.
Okay. And what if that place were a sports stadium?
Obviously, there have been many tragic events at sports stadiums, involving people behaving in a stampeding fashion. All it takes is for a handful of people to panic to set off herd-like behavior in humans. And would you say, in your expert opinion, that 10 people would constitute a handful? I'd say so.
Yes! Haha! Oh, she said it! I got it! It's recorded! Oh, I got the answer I needed, yes! Oh, finally I can end one of these research projects early. I might go for a walk. Might treat myself to a kebab. Holy I might get some time off. Yes!
Hello?
So there you have it. Expect a full-blown stampede in the stadium tonight. As it's possible we'll see some of our favourite stars crushed to death. Professional wrestling is amazing. I'm Chris Litmus for the Kayfabe Crunch, and if Hangman Page brings his horse, we're really in for an old-fashioned trampling.
And there's just time for a quick markets report. AEW up 12 percentage decimals against NXT. If you do buy AEW, the advice is to invest in new ladders and divide your dividends by multiples of 9. MJF and SSN submit a request to merge, but economists ward against low yields. If we look to the Cena markets now, the graph appears to be invisible. Join us Tuesday when we'll reveal if AEW wrestlers managed to double their salary or if they walked away with nothing. I think that's what's at stake. And remember, you can support this podcast by listening back to old episodes if you haven't already. People don't normally binge the news, but we're wrestling fans. It's been said, we're a little different. This has been the Kayfabe Crunch, your not quite daily, not quite news, bump for the world of professional wrestling.
The Kayfabe Crunch is kept ethical with thanks to Chill Boney Grape. Our pasteurization process begins at the vine. We churn the grape bits in a massive wooden vat and watch as the fruity flesh ferments. Then our dairy sommeliers taste the grape milk to ensure a top-quality beverage fit for a king's banquet. Chill Boney Grape. Yeah, it's just wine.
The Kayfabe Crunch